welcome to Panthers TV with me, Sam Hurst. And what a start to the season it was last weekend. The Panthers taking both wins against Guildford and Manchester. Now the team prepare for some more cup action this weekend. On Saturday, we welcome back former Panthers assistant head coach Kevin Moore, who is now head coach of the Coventry Blaze. Danny Stewart, our head coach, going up against his former side. Let's hear some of his thoughts now.
Head Coach Danny Stewart joins us at the midweek press conference. Danny, how much confidence do you think your boys would have got from those 4 points out of 4 to start the season at the weekend?
Yeah, it was. I think for confidence, it's a good start. I think in terms of the results, for sure. I think in terms of our performances, I think it was, I think our performance in Manchester was, and I've said it a couple of times now, was almost flawless. It was really good. Detailed, we battled, we competed, things that we'd kind of looked back at the preseason and thought we could be better at, and I thought we did that. And then against Guildford, again, another good performance. I think in that game we probably made a few more mistakes on the puck that possibly gave Guildford some good opportunities to kind of change the result of that game. And fortunately in the end there we ended up closing that game out. But I think as a whole for 120 minutes, I thought we did a lot of good things. We certainly created enough chances. I thought for the most part we defended well when we were in our shape. But like I said, puck management, you hear every coach bang a drum about it every week. And, it can be the difference between winning games and losing games. Unfortunately, we were on the right side of both games.
On Friday, you were almost perfect from moment one, and it always went your way, such was your dominance. But Saturday, you had a bit of adversity. So do you learn maybe more about your team, about how they can cope like that in the typical game against Saturday, where they had quite a few highs and lows? Yeah,
no, for sure. I think momentum shifts in that game were frequent. And, being up 2-0, the goal review and not getting a power play right after that when we felt we should have, managing that, and then, losing Cooper and, a couple PKs after that. And, I think through the 5-on-3, we didn't convert on that. And, they got one shortly after that. And, then all of a sudden it's 2-2 game. That game you can very easily lose that game. And but we got a big goal from Sam there at the end of the third, gave us a little bit of a spark again going into the break. And I thought we played relatively the way we want to in a third period with a lead. But I felt after the fourth goal, there was a good 4 or 5 minute stretch where we forced a couple things when we didn't need to, and that gave Guildford some life. So, but all in all, really happy how the weekend went.
In your pre-game press conference last week, you talked about wanting to see the sort of that step up in intensity, and we talked about battles around the net and on the boards. To me, looking from outside, it feels like your players heeded that. Would you agree at the weekend?
Yeah, and I think sometimes that's a combination of the difference between real games and preseason. I think I said that before. As a coach, you don't want to admit it, but sometimes your players maybe don't quite bring that extra 10% in the preseason, just kind of, getting back to game shape and taking care of the body, especially in that last, final game of preseason. But, they turned it up to where they needed to be. They found another gear. And like I said, but it's important that we did that the first weekend, but it's even more important that we have the discipline to continue doing that week in, week out.
What do you expect from Coventry at the weekend? They've obviously had a good pre-season and beat Glasgow Clan on the weekend. What sort of, where are their threats going to come from?
Well, they definitely, watch the game against Glasgow. They definitely look like they're a disciplined team, right? They didn't get out of their shape too often, and they managed the puck well, and good power play. And I think they're a team that skates well. They got some good size, and they work really hard. And I think, we certainly got to, match their compete, if not, bring a little, extra 10% than they do. And, it'll be a tough match. Look, at the end of the day, they got a lot of youth there, a lot of new energy, and, we'll certainly have to be at our best.
Inevitable question, but what's it going to be like for you to face your former club, do you think?
I mean, for me, look, fond memories of Coventry. It'll always be a special place in my heart. But in terms of this weekend, it's another game for me. It's another game for the players, and my job's to prepare my guys. Essentially, it's not about me this weekend. It's about us continuing and building on the start we've had. And our goal is to get 2 points, regardless if it's Coventry or anybody else.
And just finally, we'll touch on Sunday. You've already matched up with Guildford, but how different a challenge would it pose going there to face them in their own barn?
Yeah, it's obviously it's a tough place to go. Everyone finds that out, and I think we'll be hearing that a lot this year. I think the quality of the league is so good, and teams generally play a lot better and different at home. And anytime you're on the road and traveling the day of a game, it's a challenge. So our focus is on Coventry, obviously, but once that game's done, we'll turn our attention to Guildford. We've seen them already. We know what they're about, so it's just a matter of going down there and having that same grit and compete we had and executing.
Cheers, Danny.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course, 2 games to look forward to this weekend. Saturday's home game against Coventry Blaze, followed by a trip away to Guildford Flames on Sunday. Why don't we hear some thoughts from our forward, Didrik Henbrant.
Dedrick Henbrant joins us on Panthers TV. After 2 wins, it's always going to be a great spirit, but just talk me how the boys are feeling after the first weekend.
Yeah, I think we're pretty, proud of our performance. I think we went out to 2 games and had a really good, we played good and followed the system. I know it's still some stuff we need to clean up, but overall I think we're pretty happy.
2 different wins as well, wasn't it, in the weekend? Because against Manchester, pretty much from moment one, you had it your own way. You were dominating them, and then the goals followed. But obviously, there were some highs and lows against Guildford on Saturday. But I guess for a team, it's good to find, come out of those games in different ways, but both with victories.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to get a win, even though you don't have your best game. And I think we gave Guildford a little bit too much chances probably, but. We played way better against Manchester, but finding a way to win is the most important.
Personally, you've made an impact already on the ice. I wonder how much you're enjoying playing alongside Matt Alfaro and Sam Hurst.
I mean, yeah, it's great. There's 2 top guys in this league, so just to get the opportunity to play with them, it means a lot, and I think we can be a threat every night. So. I like it.
Last year was your first year as full-time pro. I wonder how much you've learned from that year to take you into this season.
I think I'm just more comfortable this year. I know from the get-go what's going on, what's going to happen, how the league works and stuff. So yeah, I'm just more comfortable from the start.
And we talked, I know, in your signing interview about how keen you were to come back to Nottingham. You've settled in like you haven't been away, but what's it like this season? Just talk me through what it's like being back at the club again.
I mean, it's great. I miss the fans during the summer. I like the place, the rink, the organization, everyone's around it. It's just top notch. So I love it.
And you mentioned the fans, and we talked about it a lot, obviously, last season for obvious reasons, but already this season. And I spoke to a couple of guys, like a load of them went to Cardiff. They all clapped you onto the bus. The support, again, was loud on Saturday. They clapped down the last 2 minutes. How much is a boost that as a player to get that backing night after night?
I mean, tons. I've never had a support before, so it's huge. It really gives you a lot of energy, and you feel that support even on and off the ice too. So it's great.
Just before we finish, just talk about the Blaze at the weekend. Obviously a bit of interest because you come up against the former assistant coach Kevin Moore. Does that kind of bring a bit of extra intrigue into the game?
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be nice to see him again. But yeah, I want to have a good game in front of him, and hopefully get a win. But it's gonna be fun.
Yet another exciting weekend of ice hockey for you guys, and we cannot wait to see you here on Saturday. It's a 7 p.m. face-off against Coventry Blaze. Tickets are still available. Just follow the links on our website. That's panthers.co.uk. We will see you there.